Morning, everybody. Kind of early today. Yeah, right. I had a comment from Mr. Deefer, and it's a constructive comment, like constructive comments, and he seems like a well-versed, clued-up kind of guy, and he's kind of looked into the CX. And the question is, and this is a question that I get asked time and time and time again, is the CX any good? Is it worth going on board? Probably one of my biggest hitting videos is the one, should I join the CX? There's only so many times you can say these things, so I'm going to try and get it all out in one go, because as I think Steve said a little while ago, the channel gets a bit boring when I just say the same things over and over again, and trust me, the person gets more bored than it is me. So he's had a look into it, and after doing the research, he's done quite a long comment, which you can read on the back of the video, on the bottom of the video I think I did with Darren or something like that, and his conclusion is it's a little biased. I am a little biased, and my channel does make it come across like it's good. This is true. He also says it's a race to the bottom. He's had terms like race to the bottom. Yeah, that's reasonably fair. Yeah, we all told basically it's like a Dutch auction. It keeps going, the price goes down and down and down and down and down until it just hits a point and it goes. Although I've got to say, jobs tend to go for what they go for. If you're a shipper and you're getting a job in and it's in a long wheelbase van and it's going 50 miles, you're going to be looking to sell it for 50 quid. You kind of, if someone rings you up and offers you 20, brilliant, but you're going to be looking to sell it for 50 quid. There is a price. He also said there are hotspots. This is also true. Where I am, I didn't realise when I joined, I live just outside of Dunstable. I'm in a really good area. I'm not far from Milton Keynes, Northampton, Watford, St Albans, London. Loads of jobs come all out of this area. If you're in certain areas like Norfolk or North Wales or Middle Wales or Penzance or John O'Groats, you ain't going to get the same amount of jobs. This is kind of true for everything in life, I think. If you go down at Oxford Street, there's a good chance you're going to get more chance if you set a stall up than if you set it up in the middle of the sea. So this is also true. And he said if the CX was any good, this is my favourite, it wouldn't need like the hard sell. Well, when you ring them, they're trying to sell it. That's what they do. And a full-time evangelist on YouTube. Please along, join the six. Take care, take money. Don't know what that was. Anyway, so this is the definitive answer. Okay? I watched this thing once on Mary Wyatt's Experience, and David Baddiel comes on, and he says, we do this show. He says, we've had a lot of complaints. He says, now these complaints are from normal, they're not from crazy people, they're from normal, upstanding members of the community who don't like what we do and have got certain reservations and certain objections to what we do, and as a result of which, I have a reply for you. This show's not for you. All right. Now, I'm not telling you not to watch the channel, because I like the fact you watch the channel. And also, where I've always said, I never lie to you. I've never lied to anybody. I've never actually told anyone to join the CX. I've never told anyone that the CX is brilliant. All I did is I've done a load of market trading videos, and then one day I did one about the CX and the subscriber rate went up, and I thought, I wonder if I can do it again, and if I keep doing it, if I hit my subscriber rate, then YouTube will give me money, which they now do. The CX don't give me any money. I have been in contact with them as a result of this channel. They're not going to not notice me, are they? After all, I am the TV evangelist on YouTube. And they have actually given me a link, and as soon as I make a video, and if you subscribe to the link, then I will get paid. But I'm so terrified of technology, I haven't worked out how to do cards. I could probably just do a video and put the link underneath it. I just haven't got round to it, because every time I think about doing it, I think of something else I could be doing instead, like sweeping up the leaves, because it's terrifying me, because it's technology. Although at the end of the day, I can also do AdSense on Amazon. I haven't done that either, because I'm old. Look at me, I'm 50. I don't get involved in this kind of stuff. But one day I will do it. So I've never lied to you. I don't get anything out of this. I'll just tell you the truth. Believe me, don't believe me, it's up to you. But right, the thing is, I've been trying to narrow it down a bit. As I say, I woke up at 5:30 this morning, it's now 7 o'clock. I've really got better things to do in my life than think about this for an hour and a half. But I was thinking about it. So I think the problem is this. I think on the CX, you kind of fit into 3 different categories. Now, there's going to be people on the CX that have been on it for a long time. Professional people that I really appreciate because they comment on my channel and they tell me what the score is. And these people have been running for like 10 years. And they will tell you that the CX isn't what it used to be. This is also probably true. I don't know. I've only been on it for a year and a half. When I was a street market trader 10, 15 years ago, I was taking so much money, it was ridiculous. You could just literally, you could go out there on my stall on East Street Market on a Wednesday was 70 foot long, and from 8:30 till 2:30, there were 3 of us serving and you couldn't see the front of it. If you went there now, I would take a tenth of what I took then. So the fact that it's not as good as it was 10 years ago is probably true. I know with market trading, that's not as good as it was 10 years ago. The only thing I know is how good it has been in the last year, because that's how long I've been running it, and that's what I base everything I talk about on. And so as a result of which, a lot of them are saying it's not as good as it used to be. You used to get a lot better money. Now people are really competitive. There are people on there that don't know what they're doing. Everything is selling for nothing. Now, to give you an example, I was with Darren in the van. If you scroll back to the last video, I was with Darren in the van on Friday. Friday afternoon is the busy afternoon. That's, you know, the best time you're ever going to see jobs on the CX is Friday afternoon. So I've done my job in the morning. And my job in the morning is an end user customer, which means I go to them directly. Because if you run the CX, you've got to bear in mind you're getting your job through a middleman. So I ring a courier company, I ring, let's say, Bing Bong Direct for the sake of argument, and I say I want to move 4 pallets 100 miles. And they might say to me, that's fine, we're going to charge £150 for that job. Then they'll put it on the CX and they'll sell it for 100, 120, they'll get 30 quid. But if you go direct to the customer, you can say, they want to say I move 4 pallets, so I want to charge you 150 quid. They say that's fine, you get the whole 150 quid. So for your end user customers, we're the grail. I'll do a video on how to get end users actually, from what I know about it, which is my limited knowledge. Yeah, if you can go straight to end users, that's better. Now, this particular customer they trust me, they fill the van up. I had to do 2 drops in Brighton. I charged them £260. I based this job on a Luton van going 100 miles at £2 a mile, which is a good rate. You'll never get that rate on the CX, very unlikely. Because they're an end user customer, I can charge them a shipper's cost too. And then because it was 2 drops, I put them on 60 quid for an additional drop. So I got 260 quid. I picked it up at about 8 o'clock in the morning and I was done in Brighton around about midday, about 10:30. There was 2 jobs coming up on the way back. One was Bognor Regis to Coventry. I rang the guy up. I said, that's long wheelbase. It was 159 miles. I said, I'd do it for 150 quid. He said, that's brilliant. He said, I've had 2 quotes for £200. He said, I can't pay 200 quid. And I said, the only problem is, I've got to pick it up at 12 o'clock. I ain't going to get there for 12. I'm going to get there about half 12, 1 o'clock. So in the end, we decided we're just going to leave it open and see what happens. And there was another one going from Lancing to Reading, and that was like 100 miles. And I thought, well, I might be able to get that, get it for 80 quid, like, you know. As it turned out, by the time I tipped, I rang the guy up, and the job had gone. He sold it for 130. I said, well done, you. And the one from Lancing to Reading, second I looked, it disappeared. Then there was nothing for me. So I went to see Darren, who was parked in a lay-by up in Brighton. And we had a little chat and we done a video. And while we're on the subject, I think his current vlog is That Trucker's Vlog or Darren, Class 1 Man in a Van. Check out his channel. If you're not sure about joining the CX and you're a lorry driver, Darren's kind of the guy to talk to because he knows all about this stuff. Anyhow, while I'm sitting in the van with Darren, I'm looking at the watch because it's all time sensitive. Your day is your day, you know, you're working on the day. And a job pings up. And it's Lancing, so far, about half a mile, going to, it was, I can't quite remember, it was just west of Oxford / Reading. And it was 100 miles, long wheelbase job, just over 100 miles. I rang the guy up, I said, I'm in an empty Luton, I can be in there in half an hour, Friday afternoon, strap some blankets, 100 quid. He said, lovely, I'll take that, thanks very much. So I said to Darren, see you later. And so I went to pick the job up. It was a metal table, it was loaded in 2 minutes. I drove it all the way to Lancing, that's 100 miles. And then I drove it from Lancing, drove it all the way over to where it was, began with an H. And then when I finished, I had 80 miles and 2 hours to get home on a Friday afternoon. I always end up in Slough on a Friday afternoon. I don't know how, just like a magnet. So an argument can be made going back to my point in the fact that there are people out there that used to do the CX a long time ago and say it doesn't pay what it used to, and backloads used to be worth more money. Now, I spent the morning, I did about 4 or 5 hours work in the morning, for which I got 260, and then I done about 5 hours work in the afternoon, for which I got 100 quid, less the extra diesel out of my way, I made 80 quid. So an argument could be made, it's not worth it. Because you worked, you can take that money in the morning, 80 quid in the afternoon, that could be made. I could have just gone home. I could have gone, well, that's 260, my diesel for the day, 40 quid, I've made 220, go home and have the afternoon off. But I don't do that, because I still think, like I said, when I was on East Street Market, I was taking a fortune. By the end of my market trading career, I was standing on Bletchley. I work all day, I'd make 40 quid. So if I've got to do 5 hours work in the afternoon to make £80, I'm going to do it, because 80 quid's 80 quid. That's exactly what happened. Right, so that's categorised. So there is an argument saying it's not what it used to be, and the loads don't pay what they used to. Well, maybe they don't, but they still pay. Point B, I think there's also those that join the CX and they kind of think that it's going to, I've said this so many times, it's not a magic wand. You get out what you put in, and there'll be those that think, well, I'll have my breakfast with the family, I'll start looking about 10 o'clock, I'll do a couple of jobs, I'll finish by 4 o'clock. You ain't going to make no money. When I started on CX about a year and a half ago, I hit my target pretty much every. Some days I didn't. Some days I come in with half of it, because some days just don't work. Even now, some days just don't work. I drove to Bristol the other day, joinery job again. Fortunately, I got some money on it. Couldn't I get a job back? No. Just in the end, I drove back empty. Twice I've done that. I struggle with Bristol. But when I started, I was hitting my target. But I was starting at 4 o'clock in the morning and finishing at 8 o'clock at night. But that's kind of what you've got to do if you want to get 3 jobs in a day and have one loaded for the morning. So you can get 4 jobs in if you like. So you get one off first thing, then do job, and get one for the morning. That's what you've got to do. Because jobs take 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on the miles. You might get one off in 2. If you're a small van, you might do it quicker. And they don't always marry up. You don't finish a job and then go to the next one and finish a job and go to the next one. It's 2 minutes around the corner. Sometimes you might be waiting for half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, and then might have to drive half an hour, 3/4 of an hour to pick your next job up. So if you want to get the money, you've got to put the time in. And I think some people join the CX and don't put the time in, think this is no good. And everybody, when they join, we talk to these people, they join and they go, yeah, I'm going to work all the time. I'm going to work out all the hours, good sends, and then they don't, and they drop off. So be honest with yourself. If you are that kind of guy that wants to get up, and everyone says they are, but if you be honest with yourself, if you're that guy, you want to get up early, you want to work late, you want to put the time in, the work's there. And then there's category C. That's me and the people I meet. Because, oddly enough, because I've got this YouTube channel, and it was weird the first time it ever happened, I turned up at a depot and a guy goes, "You're famous." And I've gone, "What?" Wait a minute, "You're that guy." I'm like, does he think I'm that funny French actor guy who I look a bit like all the bloke out happy? And he went, "No, YouTube." And I went, "Oh, yeah, right, okay." And he said, and I have come up to many different depots now and many different places, and people go, "I've watched your YouTube channel. In fact, I joined the CX because of you." And I go, "How are you finding it?" And they go, "Yeah, all right." So no one ever goes, "Oh, it's the best thing I've ever done, and now I've got myself a gold yacht." But a lot of them go, "Yeah, done right." And bearing in mind the fact they've only just started, we had the meeting. One of the guys at the meeting, apparently, joined because of me. I said, "How are you getting on with it?" He went, "Yeah, all right." So there you go. So there's 3 different categories, I believe. There's probably more, and there's probably ones I've forgotten about. People that have been on a long time, and they go, "That ain't what it used to be." It probably not. People that think they're basically, you join the CX and they deliver £1 million to your door, and then get the up with it and leave. Well, and then people like me, and the people I meet. And that's the truth. So there you go. At the end of it, the question is, and the question I did in the video, is the CX any good, and is it for you? Well, I'm using it every day. I'm running it every day, and like I say, for backloads, it's brilliant. And if I can't get a job from an end user customer, I can make a living still on the CX. I can get my day. It's not the same as doing an end user job, but I can still go out and take money, as opposed to if I didn't have an end user job and I didn't have the CX, what would I do? Sit at home. The thing is it any good for you? Right, so here's the bottom line, guys. There's too many imponderables. Is it right for you? There's too many imponderables. What's your security? Have you got a family? Are you independent on your own? Are you going to go tramping? Are you going to stay at home? What's your location? Where do you live? Do you live in Wales? Do you live in London? Do you live, you might live in London. It's a very good area, but there's a lot of drivers. What kind of van you got? You got a big van? You got a small van? What kind of money are you looking to make? What are you used to? So, and I can't make a video for everybody. So here's the bottom line. You want to know what it's like? Call me. My number is 07970 723 884. You want to write it down? I'll wait till you get a pen. 07970 723 884. Ring me between 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, because now I have weekends off. Because nothing really happens at CX at the weekend anyway, really. And if you ring me during those times, there's a good chance I'll be driving, in which case I'll have the hands free and I'll be able to have a discussion with you. If you ring me outside of those times, there's a good chance I'll be loading or I'll be at home with the family. And then it goes, so if it goes to voicemail, you know why. And I will have an honest discussion with you. And I will tell you if I think it's any good for you or not. And I will talk to you about the size of your van, and I will talk to you about your, and I will just give you my honest opinion. And if at the end of the day, you read everything and you've watched the channel and you decide you speak to me and you decide I'm a fraud and I am actually just praise the Lord and buy the CX, take care, take money. If I can't get it, if I just think out of my head, then there's this thing. I watched this film once, right? It wasn't a great film. It was Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive. And there's this bit in The Fugitive where they're in like a water pipe, and I don't know what happens. Tommy Lee Jones is chasing Harrison Ford, who's supposed to be the bad guy, but he's not the bad guy, and Tommy Lee Jones slips over. And it ends up with Harrison Ford, who's the guy who's running away with the gun, and Tommy Lee Jones in a water pipe. And Harrison Ford turns around to Tommy Lee Jones and he says, "I didn't kill my wife." And Tommy Lee Jones says, "I don't care." And that's basically it. The bottom line is this. I do what I do. I tell the truth. I tell it as I see it. I'm happy to talk to you. If at the end of the day you believe that I'm a fraud and a charlatan and I'm only doing it to plug the CX and I'm only in it for myself, okay, that's fine. I ask one thing of you people. Enjoy your life. I don't mind whether you join the CX or not. It really doesn't make a difference to me. In fact, it does make a difference to me. In fact, it makes a detrimental difference to me, because if I tell you it's brilliant and then you decide to join in Luton with a Luton van, there's a good chance you'll get a job that could have been mine. But oddly enough, I'm not that fussed about me. I just want everyone to be happy. So this is the one thing I want to ask you, as my good friend Nigel says, you only get one ticket to the gun show. Whatever you do, join the CX, don't join the CX, enjoy your life. But if you want, and you want me to talk to you about it, I'll talk to you about it. Like I say, I won't. While you get a pen. The number is 07970 723 884. I'll put it in the notes. And in the meantime, for those of you that are on the CX and have joined because of me, and you're happy, thank you. Thank you for watching my channel, and take care, take money.